There aren't a lot of openly gay Koreans in Korea. Actually, a lot of them are not open to their families. If anything, they're probably open only to a few good friends, and they're certainly not open at work. Because of this, it makes it kind of hard to date Koreans. You'll find that it's really hard to go out and socialize, or if you ever wanted to meet their families, you probably won't get the opportunity because they won't want to introduce you to them. I've never been personally cheated out of any opportunities here because I'm a lesbian, but that's probably because most of the people who might do that don't know that I'm a lesbian. And that really revolves around the law here. Korea doesn't have sexuality written into its discrimination law like the US and several other countries do. So for example, I can't be discriminated here based upon my religion or my race, but I can be excluded from educational opportunities or fired from my job based upon my sexuality. And that makes things here a little bit scary, actually, for gay men and lesbian women. The gay scene in Korea is still pretty underground for the most part. In the bigger cities, Busan, Seoul, and to a lesser extent Daegu, you can find some gay bars and some lesbian bars, but for the most part, a lot of it's online. There's a really big lesbian website called tgnet.kr, and a lot of the girls are there, but don't necessarily go out to the bars. They're just there to find a girlfriend or to find someone who is looking for a pen pal or friends or even just someone to talk to. But it's definitely less of an out and proud scene than a lot of other places in the world, just because there's a lot less of an open and supportive community here. I think that Korean women are generally pretty open about dating foreign women. If anything they have reservations about, it might be just their English ability, which, of course, is not really a lesbian concern. But I've dated a few Korean women, and I think, while there are, of course, cultural differences, I think it's definitely possible, and I think it's definitely easy to find someone that if you're in that market. How easy is it to date in Korea? Well, it totally depends if you're looking for a Korean girlfriend or a foreign girlfriend or either. If you're looking for a Korean girlfriend, basically you need to get to know Korean culture. Probably you'll need to speak a little bit of Korean and know how to use some of the Korean websites like TGNet, or go to some of the lesbian bars in Korea, for example in Seoul and Hongdae. To be able to date some of the foreign girls, they're a little bit easier to find because there's so many English teachers here, and some of the regular dating sites have foreign girls on there as well. But actually, it's not that hard, like if you're willing to put yourself out there. I've dated a couple of Korean girls and a couple of foreign girls since I've been here in Korea for a couple of years. So I'm living proof that it's possible to date in Korea. I don't think it's any harder telling who's gay and who's not in Korea, to be honest. The lesbian scene retains a little bit more of the butch and femme vibe than maybe some other areas. So there are some definite butch or tomboyish girls in the lesbian scene in Korea, but for the most part, it's really hard to tell. Just because you see a girl on the street with short hair or boyish clothing doesn't necessarily mean anything. And of course, who knows with femme girls? One interesting situation that I've been on, which is apparently fairly common in Korea and in Asia, was that I met one of my good lesbian Korean friends just to go to a party with her. And I didn't know much about the party, just that we were meeting some more of her lesbian and gay Korean friends that I didn't know. And so we went to meet at this pub, and we walked in. I didn't really know many people. Everyone was Korean. I had just got to Korea maybe 6 months earlier at this point, so I still didn't speak very much Korean, but everyone was talking to me and trying to make me feel at home. And it suddenly turned a little bit weird when I noticed that a lot of the guys seemed quite interested in me. There were maybe only about 2 or 3 women besides me in the whole pub, and quite a few gay guys who seemed very eager to talk to me. And it took me about 10 minutes to discover, with the help of my friend, through prying my friend, that the party that we went to was actually kind of a matchmaking party for gay men and lesbian women who wanted to have kind of a fake marriage. So it was a marriage party where gay men and lesbian women essentially get married just to satisfy their parents and still date and live lives on the side. Of course, I was kind of uncomfortable and didn't have any idea what I was getting myself into and didn't really want to have anything to do with this. So that was definitely a strange situation that I was in. If you're coming to Korea to teach English or study, or perhaps you're already in Korea, you're Korean, you've been here your whole life, you'll definitely find family among you here. We're all here, and some of us have been here for a really long time. And without a doubt, you'll find people to date, you'll find people to make friends with, and you'll find a lot of things to do on the weekend. And you'll definitely have a good time.